No victor, no vanquished, a deceptive mantra with sinister intentions against Igbo. My people, here are the three major problems that is facing this our struggle. And once we can be able to eliminate these problems, we are up and doing. Number one, propaganda coming from UK, Yoruba Ronu, and Fulani cabals. That is number one problem. Number two, and the biggest problem of all, if we can be able to eliminate the cabals in US government that is setting us back. The number three, to eliminate the original sabos who claims to be fighting for this Biafran struggle. Please write it down. These three things, if we can be able to eliminate them, my brother, our journey will be very, very smooth to where we are going. Forget about the sabos in Biafra land. I mean, in terms of the so-called governors or whatever they call themselves. Be rest assured that, my brother, if we can eliminate these three things, propaganda, that is the lies told by the so-called Yoruba Ronu and the BBC UK. Number two, the cabals in US politics, UK politics. What about Nigerian ones? All those ones, the Ofen. Number three, where was the original sabos? Because according to adage, it says the worst enemy you can fight in this life is household enemy. They are the enemy that know everything about you, and when they are attacking you, they will be hitting you direct where it matters. An outsider will never come to you to come and fight you without the notice of somebody within your territory. In other words, na rat wey dey for house, na I go tell the one wey dey inside bush that say there is a fish in that basket at the kitchen. So please take note. That is the moral of this lesson. Residents flee as bandits overrun Imo community despite heavy security presence. Alleged sexual harassment. Akpabio have been given 7 days to step aside for proper investigations. This is one of the lines that we are going to dissect moving forward. Like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos. Shortly after the Civil War, which ended in January of 1970, in order to continue to hold Ndi Igbo down as slaves in perpetuity in an oppressive Nigerian state, these wars were created by the British overlords who actually instigated the war in the first place. A genocidal war which came as a gross consequences of a conspiracy theory that saw a coup carried out by young military officers from all parts of the country, erroneously tagged as an Igbo coup, when in the rightful sense and in every sense of honesty should be rightfully called Awolowo coup. As we all have known before now from popular accounts of many spectators and active players of that generation, and have more convincingly been confirmed by IBB in his new book, that the coup d'etat aimed was to install Awolowo as the Prime Minister of Nigeria. Every human with the right set of thinking faculty could immediately, without being told or rather told, believe or zero in that Obafemi Awolowo, who was in prison at the time, was and must have be in the know of the plot. Yet, after the coup was quelled evidently by an best known set of Igbo officers, he, Awolowo, made 180 ton. Joined the British propagandist BBC too and call it Igbo coup, inciting the ethnic hatred and euphoria which resulted to the mass pogroms of mid-late 1960s, claiming thousands of Igbo lives, amongst others from the eastern Nigeria. The coup was almost headed and championed by young Igbo military officers who put their lives on the line just to see that Awolowo, a Yoruba man, becomes the prime minister. Yet, Awolowo and his Yoruba brethren eventually conspired with the North and British to bring war, death, famine, and carnage to Igbo land in particular, and Biafra in general, during the 30 months of the Biafra genocidal war. Apparently, it became evident that this political interest, which was scuppered as a result of coup failure, was impoverished for its survival and advancement to condone the gross massacre of Igbo officers after the successful 1966 July counter-coup, including civilians were slaughtered like chickens across Nigeria's northern and western states. He earned himself a juicy and decisive position during the war in Gowon's administration cabinet, and as if that was not enough, he introduced the hunger policy with the slogan of "All is fair in war" to ensure that the struggling nascent Biafrans were exterminated not only by the destructive British Soviet-backed war machine, but also by the excruciating borrow of hunger and starvation. Ndị Igbo were forced to pay a price for crimes we did not commit. We were hunted down in the streets of Kaduna, Kano, Ibadan, and Lagos. We were annihilated, decimated, and killed in droves. A pogrom was committed against us. We were made the scapegoat and made to suffer alone for offense committed by others for the benefit of others, not even for us. While the real culprits were exonerated and were celebrated as saints and were given higher offices and appointments in the country's seat of power, even up until today. It is worth noting that the pre-January 1966 coup era, the Western region under the premiership of Lakinde Akintola was under severe turmoil as a result of the power tussle between his government and Awolowo, who was imprisoned 3 years earlier. Because of the treacherous act of Awolowo, Ndị Igbo have been made to suffer and endure what other ethnic groups in Nigeria cannot withstand, even after the war till date. We have been betrayed by those whom we took as our most trusted friends and assumed allies. We have been stabbed in the back by our most closest neighbors. Yet, through the all thick and thin, we kept trying to make this country a home for everyone. But the more we try, the more we are marginalized and discriminated against, and the more we were excluded from the scheme of things in all political corridors of the nation's governance. Yoruba is one of the worst enemies of the Igbos and should be treated as one. It is not, I am not inciting anybody, but I'm telling you the gospel and the honest truth. Ndị Igbo, against whom these injustices have been meted upon, have been trying to move on, but the so-called fellow compatriots who should have made confessions, tender an unreserved apology, and make restitutions where and when necessary are still busy spreading propaganda against same people, victims of genocide, who were and are always at the receiving end of all injustices in this country. Till this date, Nigerians are still being made to believe that it was Ojukwu that caused the civil war of 1967, when in fact it was Ojukwu who tried all he could to prevent it from happening, and it was Gowon who reneged on the Abure Accord agreement. It was when the killings, massacre became unbearable and once government failed to prevail on the rampaging northern mob, that our internal leader, Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, the then military governor of the Eastern region, in collaboration with the leaders under the Eastern Consultative Assembly, leaders of the think tank, unanimously voted for a separate state in order to save our race from extinction and extermination. And Ojukwu reluctantly capitulated to their demands and declared Biafra on 30th May 1967. Meanwhile, the no victor, no vanquished mantra, a way deceptively crafted con word, was introduced by the British overlords in order to saute the minds of our people to think that they have been given a sense of purpose and belongings, but all to no avail, because Ndi Igbo continue to suffer the phobia and the ethnic incentivized hate until this day in the present day Zojuria, which gave rise to the agitation for self-determination by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Moreover, the genocide and extermination plots against Ndi Igbo, which was always backed up by propaganda and lies in order to portray them as the evil aggressors and troublemakers, has thrived in the Nigeria for so many decades until the coming of IPOB, who began to debunk the lies through the mechanism of the Radio Biafra and social media, sensitizing the Nigerian population, the global community, on the reality of things. Today, the whole world knows the truth and the plight of the indigenous people of Biafra and our reason for quest of self-determination. The way forward for Ndi Igbo is not just financial restitution or empty national apology. Rather, Ndi Igbo and the rest of the other ethnic groups in eastern Nigeria who were victims of the Biafra genocide deserves to be asked for their unanimous opinion on what they truly want in and from Nigeria. The right to make a unanimous decision cannot be overemphasized. Millions of Ndi Igbo already harbor in their minds that only an independent Biafra state will serve as the deserving justice the Igbo nation deserves. In their minds, for Ndi Igbo have relief and escape the post-war trauma, the Igbo nation must be allowed to solely and independently chart a way for their socio-political and economic future. This can only be decided through or via a popular or referendum. The Nigerian government must and should active this process if it is really sorry over the years of accumulated injustice against Ndi Igbo. The international community is also under obligation to intervene and take decisive steps to ensure that justice is granted to Ndi Igbo who have self-evidently gone through a great deal of suffering in the hands of their supposed compatriots in Nigeria. For the Family Writers Press International, article written by Ofo Prince Will Akobunna, edited and published by Family Writers Press International. Residents flee as bandits overrun Imo community despite heavy security presence. Despite the presence of heavy security personnel around the Egbema production center of some oil companies in Obi Akpo autonomous community in Haji Egbema local government area of Imo State, bandits are said to have taken over the Ukwagba area of the community. The indigenous Ukwo-Uba are said to be presently homeless as many have packed their belongings to neighboring communities where they are seen or rather seeking refuge. The incident is said to have been ongoing for about 2 weeks. The indigents have therefore called on Hope Uzodinjo to urgently intervene. The Eze-elect of the community, Chief Nnabueze Nwokoma, said, around the center, the Nigerian Army has its duty post. The Nigerian Police Force has a station which is some meters away from this post, and the Nigerian Civil Defense and Security Corps are always on patrol in the localities, including the DSS and the vigilantes. Yet, there are alleged incident killings in Ukwagba for the past 2 weeks. Do you need a soothsayer to tell you that all these killings have been done by those security you call? My dear brother Natawazi. He said that there were emerging indications to suggest that the bandits operate close to the area where these heavy security outfits are stationed. The Eze-elect therefore opined that since there was a need for Governor Uzodinjo to beef up security in Obiakpo Autonomous Community, especially the Ukwaba area, a more crack team of security personnel should be drafted to the so-called area. Sexual harassment, Akpabio given 7 days to step down. Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Abi Satanwill Akpabio, has been ordered to step aside following allegations of sexual harassment leveled against him by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. In a letter dated March 3, 2025, human rights lawyer Mason Nejo called for Akpabio's temporary resignation within 7 days to allow an independent investigation by the Senate Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition Committee. According to him, the allegations stem from Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan's interview on Arise Television on February 28, 2025, where she claimed Akpabio made inappropriate advances towards her during a visit to his residence in Akwa Ibom on December 8 of 2023. Nejo, speaking on behalf of concerned Nigerians, insisted that Akpabio's temporary exit is necessary to uphold democratic ethics and ensure a fair probe into the matter. In the said interview, Senator Natasha made allegations suggesting that you sexually harassed her and crossed the line decency in the discharge of your duties as the Senate President of Nigeria. Senator Natasha Akpoti stated as follows. My issue with Senator Akpabio commenced on December 8 of 2023 when my husband and I visited Akwa Ibom to attend Senator Akpabio's birthday celebration. During our visit, Senator Akpabio was escorting me around his residence, holding my hand while my husband followed behind, and he marked that like me to visit his home regularly to share special moments. Anyway, these are the stories which we have spoken over and over again. In conclusion, we are confident that you will accord to our demand within 7 days of receipt of this letter. In the unlikely event that same is not done, we will be compelled to take all appropriate level or legal revolutionary actions against you, which include protest, mass action, petition to foreign embassies, and public interest lawsuits. Anyway, my people, now here we go take back break. More of this is coming your way. Like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing for more interesting videos coming your way. I, Ukulora, is here to serve you.